Egypt launching airstrikes at this hour against suspected terrorists who killed, get this, more than 300 worshippers in a mosque, including about 24 children. And our next guest says the attack didn't just target a mosque, it targeted civilization itself. Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, a Fox News military analyst, strategic analyst too. What do you mean, Colonel? This was more than just Muslim on Muslim crime?
Well, indeed, it was. And there's just this long-standing taboo for centuries upon centuries that you don't purposely attack places of worship, and you certainly don't attack congregations of prayer. Whether they're Buddhist, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, you don't do it. It's truly an act of vicious terrorism that exceeds all norms. And so this attack that kills 305 people during their prayer worship service on their Sabbath, Friday, it just breaks all the bounds, breaks all the norms. But even beyond that, it's a display of intolerance, of religious intolerance, of a kind that to which we don't pay really enough attention. I think, Brian, that we in the media, for all the times we've been talking about terrorism, we haven't always done an adequate job of explaining how diverse Islam is.
Yep.
And the Sufis, this was a Sufi mosque by and large. The Sufis are in Islam, they're the ones for whom I have the most hope. They've traditionally been the poets, the dreamers. Some Sufi subgroups, love music. Others, the dervishes, love dance. They're so radically different from the Wahhabi, stringent, Puritan viciousness that Saudi Arabia has funded and
that's why they're a threat.
Sponsors.
That's why they're a threat. So their peacefulness is a threat.
Yeah, their decency, their tolerance. I mean, I always tell people, you want to understand a Sufi, you cross a Quaker with an Episcopalian and put in a Catholic Latin plain chant soundtrack. The closest equivalent in Judaism would be the Hasidim, with their joyous inner warmth for God. And so all these movements exist in all faiths. But the Sufis, again, really, they were targeting the best of the best, the people who are the most decent, who have an inner relationship with God rather than the barracks religion that ISIS and Al-Qaeda propose.
And right now, their answer is to bomb the heck out of where they can find and hunt down Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Is that the right response, real quick, Ralph?
Well, unfortunately, we do have to play whack-a-mole. You have to kill these extremists wherever you find them. I mean, by committing such acts, as we've seen them do in Syria and Iraq, and now in the Sinai at this mosque, they have put themselves outside the bounds of humanity. And they have no human rights. And by the way, these people who attack that mosque, they're the kind of people Obama released from Guantanamo. There can be no compromise with terrorists of this ilk. We just can't do it. Right. It's us or them, and I'm determined it's going to be us that comes out on top.
Right. It is. And in Pakistan, they've just released one of the architects of the Mumbai attacks over the weekend. So this is what we're pushing up against. Governments that are afraid sometimes of cracking down on their own extremists. Colonel Ralph Peters, thanks so much.